Did you not set the audio input for yourself on the intro screen?
Classic
Sean. Not setting.
What a way to start up. What a way to start up.
Yeah. I mean, you got to work out all the kinks.
Four months.
Classic Paradise.
Yeah. Hi, friends. Welcome back to Paradise. This is so exciting. We are so excited to do this new stream and this new story. We've got, it's just been so much fun prepping and we can't wait. So I'm going to run through my stuff real quick and then we're going to get started. I'm going to start with our partners, our Paradise partners, starting with Arcane Spectacles. Step into Arcane Spectacles, where every roll of the dice is an adventure. Their exotic wood dice vaults and hand-selected dice sets are the perfect treasure for any tabletop RPG enthusiast. And with their personalized D&D themed Christmas ornaments, you can keep the magic of your games alive all year round. I have several up on my wall of love here on my streaming station. They're fabulous. Each ornament can be customized with your party's names, making it a unique and meaningful memento. So why wait? Join them at arcanespectacles.com and roll for the ultimate tabletop experience. Moving right along to Underground Oracle Publishing, we have Underground Oracle Publishing. They are a best-selling, any-nominated TTRPG publisher building new and exciting settings for the Cypher system of every genre you can imagine. Each setting includes everything you need to explore its unique world, including lore, species, descriptors, foci? F-O-C-I? I've never seen that word before. This is what you do when you don't read the copy beforehand. Whoops, creatures, ciphers, artifacts, and all of the rules you need to play. Their current focus is Harrow, the Blighted Plain, a crystal punk fantasy setting filled with fungal oases, massive sand seas, and long-buried magitech. For as little as $3, you can join their Patreon and help shape Harrow in each of the worlds that they create. Pretty cool stuff happening over there. I wish you could all see Alex right now, just jamming out to the music that is playing. It's pretty fantastic. Next, we have Eddie Yorke, our character artist. You saw all of our brand new character art on our starting soon screen. We love it. We love him. He's fabulous. He's an illustrator based in the UK who makes art for games and books. To visit his portfolio and get in contact with him, visit eyorke.com. Okay, a couple of miscellaneous things. So we are starting campaign 2 this evening. We are working to get our campaign 1 backlog up to date. So look out on Discord for all of those updates. Speaking of Discord, there will be recaps of all of our new episodes provided by our lovely DM. So join us there if you have not already. If you are interested in sponsoring an episode or two of Advantage in Paradise, shoot us an email at paradiserpg@gmail.com. That's her old name, but same email. And last, but certainly not least, you can find us on all of the socials: Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all of those. The links will be in chat in just a moment on our link tree. I believe that's it. I saw, yeah. Yes, you did. Looks great. Oh, hell yeah. I didn't even notice that.
I trained.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Sean,
You should be able
different
to. You should.
scene.
I didn't change the scene. Can you hear me now, friends? Oh, I'm so good at this, guys. Thank God that this
so
didn't
good at
happen
this.
to any of the when I was producing the other stream last month. But what I said is we have split up the Discord to have a section for the old Campaign 1 information, and we also have a new section for Campaign 2 where you can do story discussion. All the recaps are going to go there. We're very excited. My camera's a little out of sync, folks. Apologies for that. It might look like I'm a little laggy tonight. Hopefully it catches up. But I think that's everything. So I think it's time to get started.
Let's fucking do this.
Are you all ready?
Oh yeah.
Language.
Fuck no.
Say hello, everybody. You're on screen now.
Hello.
What?
Oh my god.
happening?
I have to run the session now.
Yeah.
Again,
luck.
because I was quiet. Thank you, everyone, for getting us to a level 4 hype train before we even started, really. Thank you, Scry Society. Thank you, Arcane Spectacles. Thank you, Star Shinobi. Truly appreciate it. Please keep the hype going. It's going to be a fun session tonight.
Love to see those WizWiki emotes.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a Wiz, especially the special WizWiki emote, actually you get from donating bits. So if anyone wants to get a special secret WizWiki emote, because no one's ever used it, it is a bit reward, actually.
It comes up on the hype train. It's great.
Oh, that's cool. One more announcement is that I just want to give is for our VODs. So there's going to be 2 different playlists for the VODs. There's going to be Adrift and Aldhalor in the raw, so to speak, which is going to be just the raw VOD, exported and slightly clipped down. And then we are planning on having a very tightly edited VOD as well. That's also going to be going up as podcast, so that you can enjoy Adrift and Aldhalor either in its pure raw form with us arguing about rules, or in a refined form that'll be hopefully a little bit shorter, a little bit more accessible, as well as available in podcast form. They're going to take a little bit longer to come out because I have to edit them. So if you can't wait, there will be the raw VOD for you to watch.
That's my job. That's gonna be my job.
Yep, that is going to be Shannon's job. She's taking over that. I got some really interesting stuff that I'm planning for the edited VODs, so keep an eye out for that. But I think I have stalled enough. It's time for me
Let's do
to
it.
start this campaign. All right.
Rip off the Band-Aid. Let it bleed.
All right, folks. Here we go. The year is 1326 of the renewed Aradun. 30 years since the brave heroes of Gwenvalir stopped the Pallid King's conquest of Rot. As that land recovers, we find ourselves somewhere both new and ancient. Aldhalor, a continent re-emerging from its own condition of healing. Long ago, the Wayward One, a rogue god, staged his calamity here on Aldhalor. In his rage, he sought to end all divinity, to leave Aradun to mortal hands. This event is known as the Morasir conflict, Sindonacht to some, but more commonly it is simply the Marring. In his capture and defeat, the land became a graveyard to immortal hubris, but the wilds retook the fresh ruin and splintered cities of old with root, rock, and storm. But even after an unraveling of all, mortal realms persist. Among small bands of surviving settlements, a new kingdom rose to fight back the remaining evils of the wars of old. History says the Union formed after the abandoned floating citadel, a massive structure at the heart of Aldhalor, bellowed a great horn, ushering in the awakening of the constructs, known as the Machina. Nevertheless, a bold new step was taken on Aldhalor. But this kingdom saw its own turmoil, shifting from monarch to republic to rebellion, until its current iteration. The convergence of Halcyon, a city-state ruled by a set of diviners known as the Kirinor Augury. This new power aspires to reconnect the continental archipelago and open the lands to the broader world with new technology, most prominently the Aeronautica ship and their skyports. But our adventure takes place to the east, in a smaller but no less grand community, the Aldhalor archipelago within the Cassius Sea, on the edges of the wider Corencia Ocean. Here, the Aldhalor Sodality, a syndicate of 5 pirate cities and their fleets, rule over the many islands of the region, under the unifying authority of Governor Sai Pajin and his Code of Honor. A growing and emergent world constrains the pirate's life. Thus, many folk abandoned the tradition or sought the coveted letter of reprisal from Pajin himself, which offers legitimacy to otherwise illegal piracy. Consequently, the Sodality's politics grow ever more complicated each year. Our story begins in the province of Eja, the easternmost community with open access to the Corencia Ocean and plenty of good-tilled earth. Much of the region is still recovering from a massive tsunami which struck the coast last year. Some called it an omen from the natural spirits of the world, while others believe the new industries of the world will tame these elemental tides of chaos. Regardless, Eja can be considered the most peaceful and spiritual of the provinces. From the bountiful fields of Reykjavik to the rambunctious festivities within the port city of Hyven, the high peaks of Old Faith in Eja City, these parts of the world run deep with adventure for our stories to come. But who will traverse the elemental chaos in this brimming new industry of Aldhalor? Now, before we jump into our characters and where they are, I have somewhat of a prologue for you all. A vignette, as we started to use at the end of last season.
Nice.
Stefan, I'll take over the music for this one. So, somewhere in the world, in an old wooden temple, two men stand at sunset as the creaks of this old structure sway in the elemental chaos outside, a great storm billowing. One man is in full plate armor. The other man, simple barkeep clothes, one could say. One man looks to the other and simply says, "You swore an oath. You swore it on the stone. We etched the runes. You must do this." The other man smirks at him, and quicker than lightning unsheathes his sword and slices it across the other man's throat as he falls to his knees, gurgling, trying to sputter out the words. The man in plate says, "There's nothing left of the magic that binds these oaths, fool. We're finished here. Our business. A shame. Goodbye. And that man turns and steps away as the other man's hand goes reaching up as he sputters, "Traitor, traitor, oathbreaker, cursed." With his last breaths, no longer able to speak after that as the blood fills his mouth. The wood of the temple creaks. As a wind breaks open the window, as it shatters. A branch from a tree falling in. The paladin-like figure grabs at his sword, frightened by this. An omen? Perhaps he's wrong about these oaths. He turns to the window and slowly walks to it and stares out. He sees the tree rattling and shaking in the wind. Nothing out there, though. Sheathes his weapon, turns. On the other side of this room, this attic area of the old temple, just barely visible from the streetlights outside, is a single eye in the dark, perfectly round, golden iris staring back at him. He takes out his sword and cries out to whatever it is. I've tarried with fiends before, undead. No one's trusty could frighten me. Show yourself. The gurgling noise of the other man ceases, stops. And as the man dies, and his oath truly broken, the eye closes. What is this? He calls on what holy light he had before as a paladin. Grasping at a holy symbol at his chest, nothing comes. No light for an oathbreaker. Can't do this. He turns behind him and standing silhouetted by the window is a creature made of metal. One great big eye in the center where a head would be. Complicated armor creating tall form. In the middle of its chest, a golden disc etched with runes, much like the stone these men referenced. And it just starts to slowly walk towards this man. No weapons on it, save for its massive, massive iron fists. It just walks closer and closer. He screams. And he rushes forward to strike at it, and it catches his sword in its hand and shatters it. As the one eye just turning to him slowly, impossibly organic amongst all this metal. He looks up, all hope leaving him. The fist comes down once, and blood splatters. and the creature disappears, and there are 2 dead bodies on the floor. And that is our prologue.
Oh boy.
What was that all about?
Probably nothing. Probably nothing.
Oh, okay.
My notes,
Right.
I wrote, metal big boy explodes parallel in armor man.
That's pretty much what
Pretty
happened.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Easy way to, yeah, I'm gonna remember that for sure.
Okay, so let's get into you guys now. So we find ourselves in Hyven, often called the diamond in the rough of the Aldhalor Islands. For most of its history, it was a small and rarely visited port, a place to find passage to the rest of the Aldhalor Islands in order to avoid traversing over the Palto Alps. But ever since the Governor Saipajan brought in new land reforms, giving new farming lands to folk from the rest of the islands to foster a more well-fed citizenship and a more put-together unity, it has grown vastly. What has made it grow even more vast has been the opening of Aldhalor and the Aldhalor Islands to Gwenvalir, the other continent, long disconnected from Aldhalor. Hyven is somewhat known now for a bit of debauchery and a bit of a haven for those of more avarice mentality. Consequently, there's been a boom in its economy, though. And some of our heroes find themselves in Hyven today. So, on Main Street, in the Harlequin and Chalice Tavern, 2 of our heroes stay in a room. So, Saskia and Jaquette, who would be awake first?
Well, I'll say Jaquette slept through the night.
Yeah. So then it probably took Sass a bit to get to sleep. So she's probably still sleeping. So you're probably
All right.
up first.
So then I imagine Jaquette sprawled out on the king-size bed. Shirts off, just wearing his trousers. Rolls out of bed. Stretches, walks over to the little cleaning thing for cleaning.
Wash basin?
Yes, the wash basin. Thank you. Splashes some water on his face. Starts cleaning. For Jaquette is a tabaxi.
Yes,
standing
please
at about
describe your character, yeah.
yes, 5'8". This black fur tabaxi. Wears much gold and jewelry. He has rings, bracelets, necklace, a little pinky toe ring, and he's just wearing striped trousers. And he is fairly lean of build, lithe, some might say, as he stretches and splashes more water on his face and then rummages around. He's got some of his personal effects out around here, and he takes some wax that you see, and he spreads it in his fingers and waxes his whiskers to get a bit of a twirl to them as he surveys the room and notices Saskia laying on the bed.
Would there
Or the
be
couch.
like a yeah, I was gonna say, would there be like a couch or like a futon or something in here?
Yeah.
Jaquette
Whoa.
did pay for the expensive room. I'm gonna say it's not just an old futon. It is a it is a nice kind of like.
Is it like a fainting couch?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking of, Shannon. There is a fainting couch in there for
Excellent.
those of the delicate perspective of the rich, like Jaquette, to.
Excellent. So this delicate piece of furniture has a not so delicate woman, half elf, lying upon it, sprawled out, one leg up, one leg off, and snoring her head off, just so loud. She is she's half elven. She's got a purple headscarf that's kind of askew. She has an eye patch over her left eye, and there you can kind of see like a scar peeking out from under the eye patch. Really just ragged, gross, probably smelly, just white shirt. Her sleeveless long coat that she usually wears over is just tossed to the side, as are her like daggers and stuff that she usually wears belted on her waist. Boots are kicked off as well, and she's just snoring. Probably there's some like drool coming out of the side of her mouth, and yeah, that's what you see.
Putting his hand in his paw, Jacquette goes, why did I let her stay with me again? It doesn't matter. We fucked up. We fucked up, he says louder at Sass. We fucked up last night. And also for everyone viewing, I'm sorry, I have COVID if my voice sounds awful. And he picks up a random piece of clothing and just tosses it at her face. He's like, come on.
What? Is it morning already?
Yes. Unfortunately.
Was I snoring? Sorry if I was snoring. I tend to do that.
I only noticed when I woke up this morning. You snore like a bear.
I've been told. What was that you were saying about we fucked up?
Just that, actually. We
fucked up.
Yeah, we fucked up. I fucked up, truly. I should have known better. I don't know why. I always have this bad habit of throwing my coin around, and it always gets me in trouble.
It was fun, though, right? I had fun.
I mean, are we ever really living if our life isn't on the line?
That's fair. And at this point, Sass will get up and stretch and start, like, putting on all of her stuff. Did you sleep well?
Yes, well enough. By the way, this is yours. Jacquette reaches into a pocket and takes out 7 gold and tosses it to Sass. Your winnings for our little endeavor.
Excellent. Pocket that right away.
Don't go spending it all in one place now. But maybe you could spend it to get your own room.
Why, this is plenty comfortable.
Sure, for you maybe, but that's usually where I take my morning tea. There's no tea in here at all, by the way.
Out of habit, as I'll get up and go over to the wash basin now, you see Sass kind of just like play with this amulet that she's got on her neck that she never ever takes off. And so she just goes over and it's like, do you mind if I just... Thank you.
Yeah.
And before you can even answer,
okay.
just immediately start using all the room amenities without...
well, maybe you should use some soap. Okay, that's fine.
The water's fine.
And Jacquet starts to. So he has laundry hanging up out by the balcony that he goes to collect as he starts to get dressed. He puts on, a bit of a poofy little shirt with a nice dark vest over on top. He's got long sleeves that he actually pushes up and like belts on so that you can see there's like cool poofy sleeves. And they're brightly colored on the inside. So it's like this very stark contrast between like a light purple and a dark black.
You trying to draw attention to yourself? You stick out like a sore thumb.
No, I'm just trying to look good. Very different things. I'd say you, Jacquet says, motioning to her dress, are more drawing attention to yourself.
I look like I just walked off the dock. It's exactly. It's what you call blending in.
I'm blending in. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Jacquet says as he straps on a studded leather vest, slides the two knives in back, puts on his belt with a rapier hand crossbow, and then puts a little shoulder cloak that falls down to about his forearm wrist. As he goes, well, I guess we should probably find Fjern and make sure he got home okay.
That's a good idea.
Speaking of Fjern, we are going to cut away from these two to actually a little earlier in the day. It's about 6 a.m. in the morning. The sun is creeping up over the sky. The gas giant Vero, which is always spotting the sky of Aradun, is just faintly visible as the sky grows brighter. Fjern, you are returning home from the Otter Business Tavern, a different tavern than your friends. Could you describe your character for us?
Sure. Fjern's the only one on the street right now. It's a little too early, but he's strutting right in the middle of it with a spring in his step. I am a blue tiefling with one eye. The other eye is replaced with a white prosthetic, pure white prosthetic. I'm very muscular, very tall. I wear large cloak with fur trim. Looks like I came out of a Viking show or something like that. And on my shoulder is a nice long great axe, and on my other shoulder is a heaping sack of cash, coins that I've just acquired after a long night of chaos. And I just look like I have big bags under my eyes, but I look like I'm on top of the world.
Absolutely. And as you're walking down from the widow's ward, you head in to the main street to head to the Harlequin and Chalice to find your bed. Like you said, there's barely anyone on the streets right now. The only folk who are awake are the workers who are heading over to the dockyards, and occasionally you can see, a butcher getting ready in the morning. In his butcher shop, you can see some stray dogs scratching at his door as he throws scraps out to them. There's a kindly old woman lowering a basket on a rope as you see this cat crawls in and pulls up the odd folk who live in this early hour of the day that others are sleeping their hangovers off.
I think Fjern stops and takes in the sights. Like, he's completely fixated by the cat elevator, thinks it's adorable. Goes up to the butcher and maybe like gives him a copper so he can feed the dogs himself. Just like really like rubs it in. Just wants to be a part of town and is enjoying life right now. Little's drunk, he stumbles a bit.
Oh yeah, he's still got the fleeting drunk of the evening before, as the hangover has not come in just yet. But you would, you'd easily be able to toss a copper to this butcher. He'd give you a little bit of scraps, let you feed the strays. Fearn, give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Pretty good. I got a 15.
Okay. You, in your kind of semi-drunken stupor, come out of the butcher shop. Maybe you were striking up a small conversation. You're still feeling a little fluid from the alcohol. And he hands you off a little bit of scrap bacon that you can bring to have the tavern keeper cook for you. But as you step out, you would notice someone who was watching you. You can see a man who looks like he's probably in his late 30s, maybe early 40s. Human man, probably average height, much shorter than you. 5'10"-ish, big bristly mustache with a very clearly he cuts his own hair. You can see it's kind of uneven, but it is cut short. And he's wearing a long overcoat. And he just sort of casually whips a pipe out as soon as he notices you see him and looks away from you.
I think I would try to play it off like I'm walking down the street and not I walk right past him without looking at him, and then I quickly turn around right as I pass him to see if he's still staring at me.
He isn't still staring at you, but you do scare him a little bit. As you quickly turn around, he does kind of fumble and drop the pipe, and it goes bouncing down the cobbles of the street, and he goes chasing after it.
I follow the pipe too, and I try to pick it up for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so sorry about that. Sorry, I'm new in town. I probably startled you.
Thank you. Yes, not a lot of folk out this morning, this early. Thank you. I'll be on my way. And he takes the pipe immediately and sort of starts to clean it off and kind of eyes you as he backs away from you and then turns around and starts whistling as he walks away from you.
I look. I just turn around and say, "Have a nice day," and I instinctively check my pockets.
You've got all your stuff.
All right, just a kindly old man. I continue on.
Yeah. As you continue on, you turn around to go. You're only like a block or two away from the tavern, and you see another person who was watching you sort of fumble and kind of pretend like they weren't looking at you. This one is an older dwarven woman. Probably like similar age. Like they both look like they're middle-aged. They were both middle-aged. This woman, she has very short hair, nearly completely shaven off, with a little bit of red fuzz on the chin and upper lip, and these very piercing blue eyes. But she's just sort of was staring at you and then kind of immediately she just turns around and walks down an alley. She doesn't even pretend like she's just sitting there. She just walks away.
I imagine Fearn is just standing in the middle of the street, a little confused, just scratches his head, what are these people doing? And just shrugs it off and actually I think he'd scurry into the inn. He'd feel a little nervous about everybody's giving him weird looks.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can easily scurry off into the into the Harlequin and Chalice. You approach and you can see the familiar large 3-story brick building with the large semi-faded painted mural on the side that has a Harlequin there holding a giant chalice way too big for her that's spilling wine all over, with the words written in that lovely advertising font on the side, and the similar 4 spires on the corners of the tavern, as if it were a D&D medieval times in its structure. But you now can easily walk inside to very quickly rush off and collapse into your bed if you would like.
I think that I'd probably try to, like, is there anybody in the like bar area when I first come in?
You don't see any like patrons. You only see Orin is there, the typical barkeep that you've seen before. Orin Boggs, the tall, very, very tall, very muscular, but the kindest face you've ever seen. A little bit of a squat nose, gentle eyes, rough, dirty blonde hair. The lovable barkeep that you've seen here before.
Orin, my friend, how are you today?
You see, he's kind of like falling asleep at the bar, and he goes, Fearn, right? Fearn.
I throw the bacon or whatever I got from the guy on the street down in front of him and say, you can have that. It's a gift from the butcher. A good smell to start your morning. I, however, had a long night. I'm gonna head up to my room.
No shit. You're just getting back now? All right. Well, do you want some of this sent to your room?
I don't know. I'll probably be conked out. Send it to the cat's room instead.
All right. Well, good luck sleeping that off. And he walks into the back to go and prep the bacon.
Yeah. So I head up to my room, which is the closest room at the start of the hallway to where the bar is, and I crash down on my flimsy accommodations and sleep on my sack like it's a pillow and just conk out, probably.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. You pass the fuck out. And it's we have ourselves a little like jump cut to an hour or two, maybe 3 hours later, when there is a knock on your door, as I imagine Sass and Jacquette are coming to get you. So you got only, I'd say, 2.5 hours of sleep, Fearn.
Sass is pounding on the door. Are you up? Wake up!
Jacquette's just leaning against the wall, just like, of course, he takes a sweet time.
Takes about 5 minutes of just animalistic growl noises before the door slams open because he kicked it open.
About fucking time.
Ugh. I had some too much fun last night.
Yeah, well, we fucked up.
Did we? I thought I did fantastic. I mean,
no, you did.
We did not.
But I think when you were partying there, did you happen to catch the name of any kind of criminal organization that ran that place?
There were some really nice guys with cool suits that were talking to me, saying I was really good in the ring and that
Did they say anything about me?
I don't remember too much about what we talked about, just that they really liked my fighting.
Mm.
Did they like my
Were you They think you're dead, Sass.
Yes,
so
but
doesn't.
yes, but before that,
Did
before
you
the
even
whole
really
dying
fight in
thing,
the ring? You kind of just stood there and he threw you out. I mean, I'm
I-
just saying, I watched it.
Wait. What really happened last night?
You really
What
don't
happened
remember?
while I was? I mean, you guys just up and left. I figured you wanted to go to bed or something.
Well, remember, you threw her down the hole,
Right.
Kicked, if I remember correctly.
and then
Right.
I
Down the hole.
went to go help her. And lucky I did, because she was being shot at by a drunken man with a crossbow. Something about clingers.
Yeah, Sass, this is when everything becomes like shooting back into your head, because you all have to remember you were like 5 or 6 drinks deep last night when this all happened.
That's right.
So all of
Yep.
this just comes crashing into your head of you and Fearn fighting in a fighting pit at a crazy tavern, and some scheme, and you hanging off a cliff edge, and Jaquette saving you from a old man shooting crossbow bolts at you.
Oh,
And you're just like,
hold
what
on.
the hell happened last night?
I think I remember you completely agreeing to getting into the ring with me, and I
No, that is
told
true.
you that I
That's-
was gonna try and win,
Yeah,
even though it was a death match. I put my
Correct.
name down first. You put your name down second.
I'm not disputing
I don't
any
see
of
myself
that.
at fault.
Not dispute-
Okay,
No, that absolutely happened. What I'm
right.
saying is we fucked up after.
Yeah, I kind of figured, because there were a few guys looking at me while I was heading home. They looked like I was being followed, and it wasn't just one.
Did you talk to them?
Just a little bit cordially.
What,
Didn't really get any names.
what did they say?
He said thanks for picking up my pipe and then walked away.
Why did you pick up it?
Useless.
Okay. So you were followed.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were just gonna try
Twice
and
it
rob
sounds
me or
like.
something and I could get into another fight, but I guess that maybe they were following you two, and
Is there
I don't
a
know.
window that I can go look out of?
Yeah. Fearon's room is on the first floor, and he has a very small window compared to like the vast balcony in Jaquette's room. It's just sort of like a thin, like maybe like 6 inches across, 2 feet tall window.
Okay, so rubbing the side of my head with this now pounding headache that has just come out of nowhere, I will go shuffle over to the window and see if anybody is looking suspicious, watching the door.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Hmm.
while she's doing this, I just lean over to Jaquette and say, did you get the bacon?
What?
The bacon. I had Oren send it up to you. You didn't get breakfast?
No, because the sequence of events that happened. Oh wait, no, yes, that's right. That was there. My tea wasn't, but the bacon was. Thank you.
No problem.
Shannon, what was your
8.
roll? 8? Yeah, it's Jaquette. Fearon asked for a room close to the bar on the first floor. You're looking out into the side alleyway, basically, and you can see the walls of the next building, and you can see some detritus and trash. You actually see some slop fall from another window in the other building, and just splash into the alleyway as the sun is getting much higher now, and you can kind of just hear there's a lot more activity outside. You can hear the workers from the docks now, and that's just the sounds of the street coming alive, but don't see any people as far as you can tell.
Okay,
Just slop.
which does not bother me in the slightest, considering my eating habits. So I turn back to the two of them, and kind of lean against the wall and just cross my arms and be like, I suppose we'll just have to keep an eye out while we're out and about today.
All right. I can't wait to spend all this money in one place. It's gonna be great.
Well, I don't. You might want to. You know
How
what?
much
Do
did you
whatever you
win?
want.
Also,
Yeah. How much did you put down on yourself?
yes.
Well, it was a death match, so I kind of just gave them all the money I had.
Also, I
Fair.
technically died for you, so maybe I get a little bit of that.
I kind of have a plan for the money. Let's just say I owe you one.
How about show me a hat? Lost
I can
it.
do that.
Yeah, Sass, you also get more violent memories just coming to your head all at once as you remember in the talk of gold the loan that you took out.
Oh,
Granted, you
right.
technically, as far as you know, the people who live there the people who run that establishment think you're dead because you faked your death for Fearn, but you did take out a loan with criminals.
Well, maybe we find something to get us out of town for a few days. We don't need to meet with Winifred until the morrow to find out more about our, what was his name? Hastings? Captain Hastings, your old pirate leader that seemingly betrayed you and responsible
Seemingly.
for...
Definitely.
Well, I don't know. You could be playing the long con. It'd be good of you, but...
Do I have to get up right now?
No.
Wonderful. Get the fuck out of my room.
And it's on that
Until
note
then.
as Fearn collapses back in his bed and the two of you march out to do whatever you need to do for the rest of the morning. We are going to zoom out from this small, or actually large tavern in the streets of Hyven, and actually go just about a half day out of Hyven, where two individuals are waking up from their sleeping bags. Bruce and Septimus. Hello. So I imagine, similar to the time that Fearn passed out around 6:30ish a.m., would probably be the time that Septimus would be waking up on the side of the road in one of the campsites.
Yes.
So, could you describe your character for us, Mike?
Septimus is a human man, 24 years old, young. He is pretty basic looking as far as like nothing flashy. He does adorn a cloak and robes because he's an artificer cleric. The robes are green and red, and he keeps a hammer by his side and then also just a large leather backpack that he has strapped to his back to make sure that he has correct provisions and during his travels.
And would Septimus be doing anything this morning before waking Bruce up, or Bruce wakes up on his own?
Before waking up Bruce, yes. Kind of, I'd imagine we're set up camp somewhere off the road, but still checking around, making sure that nobody's nearby or watching. He'll make a movement as from the backpack that he keeps on his back, a large mechanical arm pops out of it. And doing as he normally does every morning, he gets out his supplies for like incense and oils, and he conducts a certain like religious rite on it as he's speaking in a certain prayer to it.
Absolutely.
But he would do that before, and I mean, if he takes on too long, because I think he is a late sleeper, he'll eventually wake him up, or he can wake up accordingly. He already knows what's going on, so.
Yeah, I think you go through your morning rituals, you take out your supplies, you anoint your mechanical arm, you whisper the prayers to the machine, and once you're done with all of that, I imagine Bruce is still asleep at that point, and just maybe snoring a little bit. Alex, could you describe what Bruce looks like as he sits there snoring in this camp, this little sleeping bag?
Well, so he's a he's a salmon-colored kobold laying on the ground with his mouth open, drool coming out the side. He's got these goggles that are around his neck, and he's in a sleeping bag right now, but the top half of him you can kind of see a little turquoise with a gold lining of a cloak. He's got like little jagged teeth. Looks like a carnivore, just an absolute
meat eater. That's what he looks like. It's funny because the art he does kind of have like a shark face in the art.
He does. He's got a little shark face, but
a little shark face.
But he looks very pathetic in this current position.
Yeah, I imagine you're all tangled up in the sleeping bag too.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, Septimus, you wait a little while, but eventually you are gonna have to wake Bruce up, and give him a little nudge, or maybe even a harder
During
nudge.
that time, I'll kind of start up a little fire, and then I'm assuming running low on provisions since we're close to Hyven, and based on previous encounters, just get that prepared. And once that's all set, I'll kind of nudge into him. It's like, come on, wake up.
What's going on? Is it a raccoon again?
No.
Oh.
It's about mid-morning. We should continue our journey, but first here, I cooked some light breakfast.
Wait, where'd you get the food?
I packed some before we left.
Oh. You're holding out on me. I don't remember this kind of food, but this is... thank you. Sorry. You gave me some jam, and we had to eat, I don't know, bark in that warehouse to yours. Never mind.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. It's mostly just grilled carrots and maybe a little bit of jerky, but that's all I have. I don't know what to tell you. You know what happened.
All right. Just thank you. That's all.
We're not too far away from the city. Once we get there, we can resupply, and I can get you a well-cooked meal.
Perfect. Oh, I like the sounds of that. All right. When are we getting up and going? Are we stretching? What are we doing?
Oh. It's still pretty early, and it'll probably take us another hour or two before we get to town, so enjoy. You can take your time, eat your breakfast, and we can set off, but hopefully in the next half hour or so.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna take this breakfast outside and stretch the old legs of mine. All right.
And when you step out, you would notice that you are just outside of the of what's known as Fairhold, which is the setup of tents and carts outside of Hyven, where different folk from the countryside come to sell their wares. Where you had purchased supplies the last time you had left.
Yes.
And you can see people are setting up their shops for the day, getting all ready and prepared. If you could get a few provisions here, but you're half a day away from Hyven, so you probably can just get going if you want. But you can hear there's a few folks like already dealing and wheeling and trading with each other. You can hear someone's tuning a banjo and a guitar somewhere. There's people just enjoying each other's company. It's a very jovial setting, even though it is a place of business. These folk are neighbors, a community that come together to share their supplies with each other.
Hey, Septimus. Think think we should get a cart eventually. Maybe. I mean, do you have a wagon or?
No, I don't have a wagon.
I feel like
You've seen my lifestyle.
That's true. But I was just hoping, maybe down the road, maybe you should consider a wagon. If you're gonna, lower the amount of stops to town you have to make per month.
I've noted.
I don't know if Hyven has a Costco, but I highly recommend you.
A what?
Ah, sorry, it's where I grew up.
No. I barely have enough funds to scrape by a couple of mercenaries to deal with the problem that we have at hand.
Sorry, I don't mean to bring up the financial situation. That's why I'm helping you out here. But all right. Well,
that I still appreciate.
It's as you two are kind of getting situated here and packing up your stuff to get ready to go. While you're doing this, you would hear from a distance someone shouting your name, Septimus, and you would turn and you would see Dulvana, the dwarven woman who is comes from the property just next to your homestead. She comes rushing up. Oh, hey there. You're back so soon.
We unfortunately failed in our endeavor. And need to find a couple more hands.
Oh, I understand. Sometimes it's just not in the winds. You know what they say. Not in the winds. But
The bait you did provide was adequate. And unfortunately, the mechanism of trapping the animal was not so much.
Absolutely. And for the audience, Dulvana is a dwarven woman, probably around 4'5". She has dark black hair that comes down in a braid over her shoulder with darker skin, purple cloak that she wears over, and a light blue tunic with this little apron. On her belt, she has a bunch of herbalist and alchemist supplies, stuff for gathering different herbs and reagents. She also has a pouch on the side that has, you all can clearly see has dirt of varying varieties and coarseness versus muddiness even. Some plant life and fungus that is sticking out, as well as a bunch of rocks, a variety of rocks in her pouch. And she just sort of looks at you and says, yeah, well, it's not in the winds, but, hopefully you can find some good friends to help you out there. And our deal still stands, though. If you can get me one of those critters alive, I'd love a chance to study it, see what sort of nasty business got into it to turn so savage.
You and I both. I mean, you saw him as well. What do you have to say? Nothing beyond, it's beyond anything I've ever seen before.
Gonna need a bigger trap. It's all.
Oh well, I didn't think that you'd have so much trouble with a few raccoons in your shed, but well,
it's more than that. But we came back to town to try to find some more, firepower, and was hoping to sell off some trinkets and gadgets here to put the funds together to hire a couple people.
Oh, sure. Some of the folks here in Fairholm might have some things that they'd like, but you can always go over to Torkal. He always buys that different kind of stuff off of you, the parts and whatnot, the tinkering. These folks might scare them if you show them any kind of gadgets, but Torkal is always looking to buy that
well
stuff.
Aware, but he was my first choice. But yes, of course, if we happen, which I'm hoping, when we dispose of these vermin, I'll be sure to bring you one.
Oh,
it's quite interesting.
Well, I'm always here during the day, but if it takes you longer than you think, again, hopefully the winds will bring you on over to my property, and you can bring me some little critters to study.
So which one would you like of two choices? There's either ones that spit acid or that dash around like lightning.
These are still raccoons you're talking about, right?
Yeah, no, this is what I'm talking about.
Well, I suppose whichever ones you can catch, I'll take.
We'll go with the acid one.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Well, I'll wish you good luck and good tidings and the spirits.
Are you sure you still want the raccoon after that conversation?
Oh, absolutely. I want the raccoon more after that conversation.
Did that raise the price on the raccoon by chance?
Well, that's something we can talk about when you get me the raccoon.
We'll bring back a big one.
I bet you boys will. I gotta get back and set up my cart, but good luck.
It's good seeing you again. And,
Always.
Till next time.
Yep. And she gives you a big hug. Wanders off back to her cart.
Yes, very well.
Okay, so it's not going to take you all too long to get into the city, so you can start making your way to Hyven. It'll just take you a couple hours.
He wants to do something else. I'm fine with just trotting along to get to Hyven and going straight to.
Yeah.
I forgot his name already.
Torcal.
Torcal.
Okay, so the two of you make haste, and you find yourselves on the outer territories of Hyven. It's a slower day, so there's not a lot of traffic coming in and out from Hyven's front entrance. There's no protective walls around Hyven. Hyven is built within the ruins of an old ancient city. So it just has these, what is the original walls of whatever Hyven was before it was Hyven. Crumbled and clearly scavenged for stone, for other buildings or farm walls. But you can enter into the familiar city easily enough, making your way through Piscator's Row, which is the sort of neck of the peninsula that Hyven is on, which is a residential area, but very quickly opens up to the market area within, which you know as the flea market, Septimus, where you know Torcal, the elf, always has his little booth to sell his own gadgets and trinkets and wares.
Walking along was like, hopefully I can get a good price for what I made here with Tokao. I've known him a while, so maybe he can be a little generous. And then we'll make our way to, I suppose, the inn again and see if there's any other colorful fellows. Maybe we'll be a little luckier this time. It's the end of the week. People are coming in, staying until the beginning again.
All right, I'll sit back and watch you haggle. Let's see what you got.
Excellent. Yes, you make your way into the flea market. This is a stark contrast to the fair hold. This is a crowded, cramped space where people are shouting at each other, yelling from across booths. Some are even throwing things as people are haggling, hustling and bustling. There's people who are slinging food. There's people who are selling, furs, gems, anything can be found in these parts for the most part, as long as you know who to talk to. And you do know who to talk to. You rush past the central area where you can see there's all these pens where there's a bunch of massive livestock in there. You see a pig that is way too big for its own pen. You see a few goats. You know, if anyone in real life has ever been to any kind of like regional fair where they just have way too much stuff in a big warehouse, that's what this place is like. It smells of manure. It smells of wet hay. It smells of sweat. It is very much different from the lovely market outside. But you make your way to Torkal's booth, where you can find him sitting there. Where is Torkal's business? Oh, there he is. You can see his booth. He has all of his junk stacked up. You can see there's old bits of scrap metal. There's old broken gadgets and pieces. You can see right now he's working on a weird device that you've not seen before, Septimus. Bruce, you have seen one of these before. It is a... for all intents and purposes, it's a record player that is got a big horn on it. What is the old timey name for the one with the big open horn?
Gramophone.
Thank you, Stefan, our resident historian / archaeologist. Gramophone. He's working on this, what looks like in essence, a gramophone. It has the big horn on it. He is tinkering with it. He has these goggles on that have these magnifying glasses on. For everyone's reference, Torkal is an elf. He has bright red hair that comes down to his shoulders, very long pointed ears, a very slim face that comes to a rather sharp point. He's wearing a green overcoat with the sleeves rolled up and simple clothes underneath. And he is currently just sort of poking and prodding with these, what is in essence a magic wand that he's just more so holding like a little pen that he's poking parts of it with. And you can see there's this stack of grime-covered discs next to the gramophone that he has cleaned one off as best he can. Bruce, you have seen these all your life when you were young in Halcyon. These are expensive still in Halcyon. It takes a lot of effort to restore them, and it's even more expensive to buy a brand new one that has been reverse engineered from the ancient ruins. Yeah, what do you want to do?
I shuffling my way through, go up to his table. It's like, Torkal, as like the satchel that I'm holding that has the gadgets and stuff. Drop it in like in front of there.
You're back already? I just dealt with you a week ago. Or it was more than a week ago. What? 2 weeks ago? You still looking for... I thought we were done.
Well, still have a bit of a problem at home. I need some more money. So I put together some stuff I think you find interesting.
All right. Well, I thought you'd kind of brought the last year's scrap the last time I saw you, so...
Well, it wasn't scrap. Well, this is not scrap.
Oh, you're bringing me something of quality, something of, content, something that has some, what do you say, use to me. What do you got? What do you got, kid? And he kind of pushes the gramophone aside, makes some space for you to put whatever you got.
First I take out a long arm with a claw at the end of it. Essentially, I forget what they're actually called, but
the reach
you call them grabbers.
The reach grabber. Is that what they actually called?
Yeah, I think they're just called grabbers, but yeah.
The thing that your grandparents used to reach stuff at high places. Essentially, crafted something like that. Like, this is a reacher grabber. It places on the table. probably made for most of the elderly. It can help with grabbing things that are higher up for them or
Apple
don't have the
picking.
grip strength.
This is what you brought me.
One of the things.
What did you call it again?
A reacher grabber.
And you can. He says in Elvish. Do either of you speak Elvish?
I do.
Okay, he curses in Elvish. He's just sort of like, fuck. It's okay, Torkal. It's okay. He forget because you every time you go to him, he forgets you can speak Elvish, and he has a habit of talking to himself in Elvish, thinking no one can hear him, understand him. It's okay, Torkal. He's just a kid. He's just a kid. All right. And back in Common. Oh, this is very impressive. Very impressive, young Septimus. I'm not so sure I can get too much for this, given the audience for it are the elderly, and they don't tend to come to my booth. But okay, I can get you 5 silver for this thing.
Okay. Well, what about this? I'll pull out it'll be a cube that through it has like cogs and stuff, and there's a clock on it. And essentially what it is, it's an alarm clock. So you can sit if you ever want to get up in the morning. I show them the little buttons. It's like you want to set the time in the morning, and once the time reaches it, and a sound goes off in case you needed to get up if you're having trouble getting up in the morning.
An alarm. An alarm clock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Artificing 101. Sure. I think I can get you a couple silver for this. You know, I mean, it's useful. Someone will buy it. So, you know, I'll take it off your hands, but these are not hotshot items here, Septimus. You know, the scrap's worth more. I mean, listen, kid.
Such an idiot.
No. You're not an
Wait.
idiot. Listen to me, kid. Oh, and he kind of like this is the first time he notices you, Bruce.
Excuse me. I see that you got a gramophone over there.
Oh yeah.
How
you know
about
that?
I know what that is. Yeah. Look, I know what's wrong with it.
Really?
You give Septimus what he deserves for these items. Proper payment. I'll fix your gramophone.
And if you can't fix the gramophone,
Well, you're not going to be able to fix it anyway, so.
give me a persuasion.
I.
roll.
$17.
Oh wow.
Higher than I expected to.
You see, as you get that 17, you look at him and you say, well, you're not going to fix that. And he kind of gives you a credulous look, and then suddenly there's just sort of this these little blue sparks come off of it, and this like purple magical fumes start coming out of the side of it, and he kind of like looks at it and then looks at you. All right. You fix the gramophone. I'll take this stuff off your hands. Services and goods. I can up the price. I can get you 30 silver overall.
Septimus, do you think that's adequate, or do you think you need more than that? Because this gramophone is a lot more worth to him.
It's not what I'd hoped for, but I still don't even know what that is.
You give him 10 gold.
10 gold.
You know, back in Halcyon, this gramophone is worth a lot more. So, brand new. Well, used a lot of money. And here, I don't imagine you see them very often, as the technology is quite different. So, 10 gold. I'll fix it for you. You're not going to be able to get any one of these around here. You could sell for a very high price.
Yeah, listen, I could do 6 gold. I could do 6 gold. That's twice what I already offered you.
What are you, a car salesman? 10 gold.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Wagon salesman. Not a car salesman. Oh, that was awful. 4.
He didn't roll great either, but he rolled higher than that.
Beat 4.
He looks at you and he narrows his eyes and he looks over at Septimus, and his face was stern when he was looking at you, Bruce, but it softens when he looks over to Septimus, given their friendship. 7 gold, final offer.
All right.
All right. Oh, Jesus. And he takes the alarm clock and reacher grabber and puts it in a pile of other similar, tchotchke-esque items. And he takes out, he starts taking out gold and silver and gives you an amalgam of 60 silver pieces to equate to the 70 gold silver pieces to equate to the 70 silver pieces to equate to the 7 gold that he offered. So you can go ahead and add 70 silver to your inventory, Septimus.
Will do.
And Torcal looks at you, Bruce, and kind of says, "So, when can I expect you to fix my gramophone?"
Well, let me see what's wrong with it first. Then we'll go from there. But by the looks of it, doesn't actually need too much work. Actually, you just missed, 2 things.
Give me an Arcana check. Septimus, while Bruce is taking a look at the gramophone, Torcal kind of comes over and looks at you closely and kind of comes close to hand you the 70 silver and gets close enough to whisper to you. You're hanging out with Halcyon folk now.
It wasn't already clear by the junk that you just purchased. I'm very desperate.
I'm assuming you haven't talked to the person I told you about yet.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I have a bigger problem to deal with. But my interest is still there.
Well, all I say is be careful with these folk. The convergency is a tricky beast. People who grew up there only know the city-state, don't really do well out here. As he looks over at Bruce, who's, imagine, just poking and prodding and tinkering away at the gramophone for a moment to see what's wrong with it.
Oops. Looks like you didn't get this installed either. As if he caught it, Bruce fucked up.
What did you get on your roll?
I got a natural 1.
Oh no! So tell me how Bruce fucked this up, and while at the same time give me a deception check.
Sure. All right, deception is 17.
Okay, as far as Bruce can tell, Torcal didn't notice any mistakes that you made. What did Bruce do to fuck up this gramophone?
He went to go see if like one of the parts was in all the way, and then he pushed it too far. One of the, yeah, and it gave, and it broke another latch.
Oh no. So yeah, I imagine there's more, like a few more sparks come off of it, and the latch is hanging there. After Torcal just kind of looks to you, Septimus, and just whispers, "Just take care of yourself, kid. Be careful." He turns back to you, Bruce, and goes, "So what's the damage? What's the damage, Mr. What's your name?"
It's a Bruce.
Bruce.
So you're gonna replace this latch, and right here, this needle's kind of bent and also not touching where it needs to be, and this cog in the back is missing a tooth. Gonna wanna.
All right. Well, I can source some materials. You come back at some point and fix this for me.
Yeah, sure. As long as you give proper prices to Septimus.
Well, me and Septimus go back a couple years, so I'll take care of you two. All right. Where are you staying? I'll send a list over of, or I'll send someone over to get a list of supplies that I need to fix this.
We're at the Harley Quinn right now, I imagine, right? Is that where we're going, Septimus?
That was going to be our next stop, yes.
All right, I'll send someone over to grab a list from y'all, and then we'll coordinate a time for you to fix this gramophone, and we can talk more, Septimus.
Yeah, put it under Oren's name, and just say Bruce needs this. He'll know.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oren owes me a few things anyway. Well, kindly get out of my shop, and I will see you soon. Good luck with whatever's holding you back, Septimus.
Thanks again. Come, Bruce. Hopefully we find some good luck at the tavern.
Wait, I need to stop by the library real quick. As Bruce goes running after Septimus.
As the two of you go walking up the street to head to the Merchants Exchange, where you know Main Street is, and the Harlequin and Chalice, as well as Leave It to Me, the bookshop / library that Bruce is got a late book to return.
Yeah, we can go first.
No, just skip over that scene.
Yeah, no, we don't. Bruce, you're easily able to return your late book and pay the 2 silver late fee. I think that's where we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll check in with our other 3, and perhaps these 5 will run into each other at the Harlequin and Chalice. Stick around, folks. We'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll continue with episode 1 of Adrift in Aldhalor. See y'all in a second. Welcome back, everybody, to Adrift in Aldhalor, our new campaign in Paradice. We were just hanging out with Bruce and Septimus are two travelers who are coming in from the countryside, looking to hire some mercenaries to take care of an infestation problem that seems to have something to do with raccoons who can spit acid and move around like lightning, according to Bruce. They sold off some quick gadgets Septimus made, as well as Bruce's services in fixing the High Elf Torcal's gramophone, ancient gramophone. And now they're heading to the Harlequin and Chalice Inn, where they are looking to hire some mercenaries, where there just so happens to be 3 folks right now there as we speak, and we are going to cut over to them now. So, what are the 3 of you doing? It is about midday at this point. Fearn has most likely woken up, and what are you doing now that the 3 of you are all together?
Fearn and Saskia are sitting at a table, probably a mug or 2 of ale, or 4 on the table, and they are deep in an arm wrestling tournament. Just best, what do we say? Best 27 out of whatever.
Zilch? Sure. You know, you're not getting any closer.
I'll get this next time. Come on. Let's go again.
All right.
Give me athletics checks.
Okay. 19.
23.
Damn it.
Fearn, what does it look like when you beat Sass here? Sass, actually, Sass, how hard are you trying? Like how
I'm trying really hard.
Yeah.
Everything I've got. Really just really focused and concentrating, and like there's sweat coming and forming under my headscarf, and just trying really, really hard.
Fearn's playing it up a little. Like it looks like he's like trying to look like he's like like giving it his all, and for a second you see like a vein pop, but then like a stray piece of dust floating in the air goes up his nose, and he sneezes and then slams your arm into the table.
Fuck. Again.
Sorry about that. I sneezed.
Again. Let's go again.
Again? Really?
Yes.
All right.
As Sass keeps trying her best with very clearly diminishing returns. Jacquette, what are you doing?
Jacquette has just wandered over from the quest board. He's taken a few leaflets down, and he goes to sit at the bar where Oren is working. Jacquette orders a drink, and as he's just kind of like leafing through, being like, this is crap, this is really shitty. Oren.
As he's pouring out your drink and turns around to hand it to you. Yeah?
So I was wondering if you knew anything about the otter business. I know we mentioned going over there the other day. You said you had a friend, but I was more interested in who Jacquette starts to cough.
You had a rough
Hairball?
night, it sounds like.
Yeah, hairball. Who runs the establishment? You know, who makes the coin go through?
Well, not everyone runs a respectable establishment like this one here. Mr. KR runs a good business here. Over there, I've heard the name once or twice of who runs that place. Only thing I've ever heard is the name Greaves, I think. Mr. Greaves is what I've heard.
Mr. Greaves? That sounds, what's the word I'm looking for? Cliche? Of course it has to be like a Mr. in something, right? He can't just use his full name, right?
Well, you know those types. They I mean, it's why the hell do they need to call their organizations by such intimidating names? You know,
Yes,
it's
that's
always
fair.
it's always like a adjective and then some kind of animal, you know, like howling spiders or the black dogs or the, you know, whatever it is. These crime organizations, these criminals. It's almost as
Yeah.
cliche as the
Barracudas.
names of the pirate ships out there that I've heard about.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard about this one called the Bone Rattler. Ooh, spooky. Psh, sounds like a load of baloney to me.
Yeah, that is a really lame name. But you know, I'm in the business of tavern keeping, and we're not any better.
Jacquet just thinks about the over-the-top mural outside on the brick building and goes, as he sips his drink, and just continues to look through.
Yeah, you know, there's so many taverns in Hyven. It's hard to choose between them, so you know, you got to go with the name and the look. Kind of like choosing an IPA. You should just no discernment between them all. It's all branding.
Some would say you go after the flavor, maybe, and the service. You know, good service goes a long way in the tavern business. You know, expediting bath waters.
Hey, I got it to you pretty quick,
Mm-hmm.
and you were staring at me the whole time.
I just wanted to make sure you understood that I needed a bath.
I understand. Your money is what moves this place around. All right. Well, that's a silver for this drink.
Sorry, what'd you say? I
So
coughed.
that's a silver for this drink.
Jacquet flicks a silver.
He catches it despite how delayed my video is.
Nice.
Yeah, well, you know, we don't get a ton of huge jobs on that board there. You know, you're probably seeing some dock working gigs or moving stuff here and there.
Yeah, we're just trying to find something that gets us out of town for a day or two. You know, I think we might have upset Mr. Greaves' organization. Flashed a little too much coin.
You got to be careful with places over in Widow's Ward. But yeah, something will probably come in. You know, it's the end of the week. Usually, jobs come in today for folk who are sticking around or board workers who have some time and want some extra coins. Something should come in today.
Well, then we will just wait and see, Jacquet says, turning in his seat to just stare at the front door.
In the background, you hear, "Fuck! Again! Let's go! Keep going!"
Sass, I'm gonna need you to give me a strength saving throw.
Sure. It's a +0. Damn it! It was almost a 16. 3.
Yeah, you can't. You literally just cannot go anymore. Like you like put your hand in Fearn's and like you can't even like your hand shaking. Fearn, you're fine. Like you're just, at this point, you're kind of just drinking your ale and holding your hand there. You're not even really. I mean, you're resisting, but you're not even trying to win necessarily. You're just letting her try.
I must applaud your determination, Sea Witch. I don't think I've had this many rematches in a row for quite a while.
Well, then maybe I should give you a break.
Yeah, that sounds great. We'll pick it up again later.
Sounds good.
What's
Go ahead.
what's Gloveless doing over there?
Who the fuck knows? He was looking at the board. Maybe looking for some jobs, perhaps. Can I look around at the tables? Is there any that haven't been bussed yet?
It's a lighter afternoon, but if you want to give me a perception check, you can see if you can find any table scraps.
Yeah. Perception. Dirty 20.
Yeah, you can
That's
see
where I
some.
roll good.
Yeah, right. You can see like it's slow, so like Oren's the only one here right now since it's early in the day, and he's kind of busy talking with Jacquette and not really paying attention to the someone who walked out. And you just see there's some chewy pieces of bacon left over with bite marks on them, and like the crust of some toast.
Mage hand. All that over.
Yeah,
when Oren isn't looking.
Oren does not care at all.
Okay, great.
Like you look and you maybe like even look like thinking like I gotta be sneaky, and you could just see Oren just yawns, and just kind of like his eyes close for a second, then he's like, oh. And he walks into the back to go take care of something.
Cool.
So yeah, you get yourself a nice little table scraps. You can make yourself a little
Excellent.
gross bacon sandwich out of crust and
Yep.
half-eaten bacon.
Excellent. That's exactly what I do.
Well, I'm looking to spend my winnings on re-equipping myself.
And a hat.
You know. Yeah, sure. Maybe after. I have to see how much I have left after I fix up my axe. The sea salt, it really does a number on this thing.
Just remember, I did die for you.
You're still standing here, though, right?
And as you sigh, the day goes on, and the three of you kind of sit there for a little while as Jacquette is staring at the door. Two of you maybe playing some games and drinking. It's around 1:30, almost 2 o'clock, that the door finally opens. The little bell at the door rings. As you would see two folk enter. You would see a tall human in red and green cloaks with a big backpack on, and a smaller kobold with a turquoise and gold or orange little shoulder cloak. Both walk in. The two of you walk in, and you can see Oren there, the barkeep that Bruce had struck a friendship with, as well as a tall blue tiefling sitting back in his chair, drinking with a half-elf, very like someone who's cosplaying as a pirate in your eyes, is drinking. Her hand is shaking as she brings the mug up to drink from it. As you also see a tabaxi by the bar, staring very determinedly towards the door in the jobs board. And like when you walk in, there's the vestibule, like a small, very short hallway that has the job board there, and then it goes into the main tavern area, which is quite large. But what would the two of you like to do as you see these strangers here?
Definitely a lot of strange characters in town. Never seen anything like this, but Fearn, does he have like his greatsword equipped on him, like on his back?
He has a battle axe, and yes, it would be. He'd probably keep it on the side of the table. It's just like leaning there.
Okay, well, seeing that, he'll go up to him or to the table with Sass and Fear. But before like going over to Bruce, be like, you think that one there, the tall blue one?
Wait. So we're just gonna go ahead and assume that.
I'm just gonna ask. I don't know what else to do.
I don't know. We'll talk to Oren. He's more of a knows the logistics. Maybe put something up on the board. I don't know.
You go talk to Oren. I'll throw something on the board then.
That sounds better.
Fearn leans over to Saskia and is like, What's on that one's face? It looks like his eyes are really round. The small one over there.
I do look pretty round. That's funny.
We're just like chuckling and like making fun of them.
Yeah, Bruce, you it's not a secret. You see them laughing at you and laughing at your goggles.
Bruce just like eyes,
whoa.
and then goes back to just goes right to Orin.
I imagine like he walks up to the bar where Orin is. I'm walking to a table nearby where the job posting is. And I go through my bag and I pull out like a piece of parchment and I guess a quill and some ink. And I start just writing down the details of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and Bruce, as you're walking up, immediately Orin is, and like for those of you, the rest of you, Orin has been rather like dull while you've been here, like disinterested, even lazy. But as soon as he sees Bruce, his eyes light up, and he goes, "Oh, Bruce!
Orin, how's it
You're
going?
back.
Of course, I said I was gonna be.
Oh my goodness gracious, I've missed you.
I missed you too.
It's been so boring
Gotta-
out here.
You find any new recipes?
Oh well, been working on a few things.
Did you
Got some
import
good
any
bacon
more,
from a customer,
Ooh,
a
alright.
butcher down the street.
Did you import any more ales?
Oh well, I've got something cooking in the basement that you might be interested in.
All right. Who's your furry friend over here?
Oh,
The name's LaRue. Jacquette says,
LaRue?
putting his hand out.
Nice to meet you, LaRue. Is that LaRue or LaRue?
LaRue.
All right, Rue.
LaRue.
Rue.
No.
Anyway,
You and your friend there. Excuse me.
you okay? Is there a
Hairballs. It just comes up a lot. Anyways, your friend there. I see he's making a post for the job board. Are you looking for folks for hire?
Bruce sits up on a stool, puts his elbows back on the bar. Yeah, we're looking to hire some folks to take out some treacherous animal. Multiple,
Ah.
raccoons.
Wow.
You ever hear of a raccoon?
A raccoon? No, I'm not sure I'm familiar. What manner of creature is this?
It's like do you know what a panda is?
No, I don't know what a panda is.
Where are you? Where are you from?
Domuzerum in Gwenvalor.
Did you just make up a what?
No, Domuzerum. It's the capital of Farathris, one of the major nations in Gwenvalor.
I've never heard of
Sure.
it.
I'm sorry, were we talking to you, Orin?
I thought Orin was part of this conversation too.
Yeah, I'm here. Been here.
Anyway, yeah, I know what Gwenvalir is, but I don't know.
It
That's
doesn't
right.
matter where I'm from. You need muscle, right? Skilled adventurers to take out these monsters. Well, it just so
Call
happens
them
myself.
monsters.
I'm sorry?
I wouldn't call them monsters. I mean, just
Well, I don't know what a fucking raccoon is. He says it's a panda. I don't know what that is either. Just tell me what the fuck I'm dealing with and I'll take care of it for you.
You see, Orin looks over to Bruce's. He's really quick to anger. He's very touchy.
I'm not quick to anger. You just come at me with this attitude and I'm just... Look, if you need competent individuals, If you need individuals capable of killing monsters, I think I have just the crew for you.
Saskia burps really
well,
loudly. Just hear it.
All right. And what makes you so capable? I mean, I see you got a short fuse here, so.
Okay, I don't appreciate your attacks on my character. My capabilities are that I used to run with a quite notorious gang back in Domuzerum, and I'm quite the shot, he says, pawing at his hand crossbow. Along with that, my companions over there, White Eye, he says, gesturing to Fjern, is a fierce warrior from the north. And the other one over there, the want-to-be pirate, well, let's just say she controls some creatures from the deep to aid her in battle.
Whoa. All right. All right, tell you what. When Septimus walks away from that job board, nobody's over there. Why don't you take a shot at one of the paper that he puts up? We'll see how good of a shot you actually are.
All right, that's fair. How about I
Is that
shoot
all
right
right?
now, right between his hands? Huh?
Please don't, because you're either a really lucky shot or a really good one, and I'd rather just play it safe than sorry.
Okay. Septimus, you're cluelessly finishing up this as they're talking about shooting. But yeah, you fill it out. You say in need of
reward upon completion 70 silver.
Oh, I just want to give Septimus a hug.
you pin it on and take a look at it. Getting things done, Septimus. And Jacqueline, how long do you want to wait for Septimus to be clear of it to fire off? Or are you going to do it right away as soon as he steps back?
Oh, right away. The moment he steps back, he's just gonna...
All right, give me an attack roll.
I don't have a DC for the parchment.
All right, that's 19.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty sure that beats it.
Yeah, that definitely is gonna. You shoot and you fire off, and it is a perfect shot. You go up. I imagine you even like you and Bruce are both watching Septimus finish writing this and post it, kind of looking to each other, like getting excited for it, and then you just quickly from the hip fire off. Septimus, you just see this bolt come out of nowhere into the paper you just spent a good like couple minutes writing out the perfect advertisement.
And
Seeing where
right
it came
as
from,
he
then I
does
see
it,
Bruce over there. I make eye contact with him. Like,
Bruce
Jacques
is-
immediately goes, "We'll take the job."
But Bruce immediately is like wide-eyed, like, I told you. Oh my god, you could have hit him. Why?
If I wanted to hit him, I would have hit him. But I didn't, so I didn't.
Still very close. Like I said, well, you're not a big good rule follower. That's what you just showed me.
I mean, call me close. Oh, wait. You'll take the job.
He'll take the job.
Yes,
there's-
me and my companions over there are in need of some work.
I'm a little tipsy
Giving-
at the moment, and so I look at LaRue, because that's how we know him by too, and I say, "The fuck did the parchment do to you?"
He has challenged me, and I rose to answer the call of adventure. Come, my friends, come. He says, gesturing to Fjern
Oh,
and
we're friends now, are we?
Zest.
Whispering over to Septimus. So far I've gathered that he's got a short fuse and that he's not a good rule follower. But he can shoot a crossbow.
He does have a good shot.
Right.
Fjern was already standing up after the shot, and now is sauntering over. He leaves his axe behind at the table, and walks up to the two newcomers and says, "Hello there. They call me White Eye. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You are quite a tall fellow, Septimus.
And
Reaching
you,
out for a handshake.
I shake your hand. No problem. Do you have any like metal devices on you or anything like that?
Yes. That you can't. Well, I do, but they're concealed in my backpack.
All right, that's fine then. If I don't notice them, or if it's not blatant, I don't say anything. But I shake your hand politely, and then I reach for Bruce's hand.
and Bruce doesn't react right away. And then he realizes the blur that in front of him. He's like, oh, yeah. Good to meet you.
Basically, when you reach your hand out to Bruce, it's as if he just does not see you there in front of him as your hand, and then he kind of like reaches for your hand as if he's having trouble seeing it.
Yeah, I grab his hand and hold it with like both of my eyes, and kind of just try and look into his eyes through those like weird devices that I've never seen before, and say, I'm no expert, but that those things covering your eyes might be hindering you a bit.
In this moment, he's not actually wearing them, but yeah, they're not. They help me, so sure.
At this point, Sass will come over dragging Fearn's axe, being like, "You left this at the table." And
you just hear it just like it's just like scraping up the floor as his oar and looks, okay, it's enough. And he comes running around and picks the axe up.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think when he picks it up, I just like hold out my hand and the axe shoots out of his hand and lands into mine. Sorry about that.
So you are fighters for hire then, correct?
Well,
Sure.
We are pretty short of cash. Is what you're doing a noble pursuit?
Does Bruce just look like?
And in this moment, Bruce looks over at Septimus and he quickly messages him. How much did you put on that parchment?
I put everything we got, 70 silver.
Oh shit. I think we can go cheaper.
Noble pursuit.
I'm not in it for the money, but whatever difference you make, you can have because I owe you as well.
How much do you think was on that parchment when you shot it, LaRue?
LaRue cocks an eyebrow, walks over, takes out the bolt, takes the parchment, looks at it, and shouts across the room, 70 silver! It was 70 silvers, the cost of the job.
That's a good payoff.
Now,
I'm in.
I don't know what my companion said, but the details of what you need to do, I'm sure you want to know.
Something about pandas or something, I don't know.
I heard raccoons.
We have to kill monsters, right?
They got raccoons up north. They're not that scary.
I've had this conversation more times than I wish I did, but these are more than just regular raccoons. There's something about them that makes them very dangerous. They have unique elemental properties that tell them. One is corrosive, one can shoot lightning. It's something way more than I can handle, hence why I'm looking for people to fight and kill them. They're destroying my farm.
They're biological anomalies.
Have I heard of anything like this before, Sean?
Give me a nature check.
Oh, wow.
Natures.
The natures.
13?
I mean, you've never heard of elemental raccoons. I mean, it sounds to you like they are like what you would understand is it sounds like they're imbued with elemental magic. Like the second you heard shoots lightning, you were like, oh, okay. You've not like encountered creatures that have been infused like this before. You've encountered elementals back in the north, but these sound like they are not your ordinary raccoons. But you haven't experienced lightning raccoons back where you're from.
I scratch my head and say, well, I mean, it sounds like there's some elemental forces involved. You wouldn't have accidentally done something to piss off the spirits, would you have? You know, just any old, you know, you Southerners, you like to play with weird machines and capture elementals to create flying machines. I don't really know how all that works down here.
I'm not quite sure where the origin is. Actually, I take that back. There was another creature. It wasn't a raccoon. It was larger. I didn't get a good look at it, but I'm assuming that any sort of power, it originates with it.
Ah, the shaman raccoon. That's what you're referring to.
I don't accept that name for it.
Shaman raccoon?
Yeah,
This is getting interesting.
It's like a...
Well, it doesn't matter where they come from or what they're doing. You want us to kill them, right?
I just want them dead.
We can do that for you. For 70 silver.
Is that 70 silver each?
No,
no.
it seems like a lump sum.
I suppose if these feral
Dibs
creatures
the extra
are
silver.
harming you,
You can't call dibs on extra silver. We'll decide that at a later time.
I heard you did, mate. Sorry.
No, that's not how. No, you can't just call
That's how it
dibs.
works. I did.
No,
Just
no,
Yep.
no.
I think
Actually,
it's our duty
it's
to
gonna
save
be
this farm.
69 silver now.
Nice. I mean, nice.
Why is that nice? I don't understand.
Well,
But whoever does the best job gets the extra silver. All right.
No, that I can understand. That seems fair to me.
I like incentives.
well, I guess this is great. The only thing is that my homestead is about 2 days travel outside the town. We'd have to go together.
2 days.
That's perfect. We actually want to get out of town, so it's great.
Were you
why?
looking to see the
Jacques gives her an
countryside?
eye. Like, are you kidding me?
Drunks.
No, we have business in town in a few days, so we're just looking for time to kill. I'm sure I can meet with our contact and let her know that we'll be away for some time.
Well, I don't think there's any other details that I must.
When do we
No.
start?
What time of day is it again? Is it like
2
1-ish?
o'clock.
2 o'clock. The day is still somewhat young. We can hit the road now, unless you
Ready
guys
to
have
go?
other things to do.
Nope. Wait. Fear knows me a hat.
Oh yeah, I wanted to find a new weapon as well. This one's getting a little shabby.
And
As
I just
like,
needed
hold
to.
the giant axe with one hand and like show off the blade.
And I just need to contact our informant here and let her know that we'll be back in a few days.
Then let's say we all meet at the north gate at 3. Does that give you enough time to run your errands?
That should be good, yes.
Huh?
I don't know. Do you know any good blacksmiths in town?
Yeah, I do, but I don't know them. I don't know Sean's lore, but my character does. So anything Sean says is dictated through me.
Yeah, no, you do know a blacksmith in town. His name is Audubon Bunt of Bunt's Metalworks.
I think I just crouch down, like to his eye level, and say, "Listen, I'm not the best at, purchasing things. The last time I tried to buy something, I ended up stowing away on a pirate ship that I thought I had a ticket for. So it would be really helpful if you could perhaps make some introductions and, get me a good deal. Perhaps I'll give you a finder's fee if that's what you need."
Well, I don't know the blacksmith too well, but I could surely take you to his shop.
Sounds great! And I stand up and, pat him on the back a little forcefully.
Bruce, will you be accompanying me, or is there something else you'd like to do in town before?
I think I need to get to the general store to get that backpack of, I need a tent and another sleeping bag. Yeah.
Right. We will need some provisions for the journey back.
Yeah. I don't know if I can have, no offense, but bulbous roots for another 7 days.
You don't. I'm used to it, but I can understand why nobody else would want to eat that and hardtack every day.
Yeah. If I could find a bag of holding that was cold all the time to keep, food nice and... I don't want my food to go bad.
We have a crack shot over here. He's really good at shooting down seagulls. They make for a great snack on the roads.
And it's with this small talk that you guys start to leave the Harlequin to go about your errands. It seems like it's split into two groups, the lot going to the blacksmith and the other merchant areas, and Jaquette, who is going to go speak with, I'm assuming you're going to go talk to Winifred.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll start with you, Jaquette. You head out of the tavern. You see the rest of them walking off as Fearon is continuing to talk, small talk, about his axe and about the greatsword that he wants and a bunch of other stuff. And every now and then, Sass is interjecting about her hat. As you go off in the opposite direction towards Dockside, which is a contrast to the rest of Hyven, as there are ships coming in, ships going out, people are still working, the docks never really sleep. And you can make your way towards the harbor master shack, where Winifred works. And
All right.
you would see her, the large Goliath woman is in there, and she is kind of just sitting back. Even though there's a lot of people coming in and out, it's a lot slower than the day you all came in, where there was crowds upon crowds. Now you can see there's work going on, but it's mostly just folk getting ready to leave, less so than people coming in.
So Jacquette kind of leans up against the door and raps on the frame, and then audibly says, "Knock knock."
And you see she kind of comes out of a daydream. She was kind of staring at the ceiling, and then kind of looks down and goes, "Oh, it's you. Well, glad to see you made it out of the other business the other night."
Yeah, it's quite the scene there. My friends thought to engage in the death match, and well, let's just say you don't always come out of there in the best of shape.
Oh, I heard about what happened.
So we're just what exactly did you hear, actually?
Oh, I heard that you and your friends joined the Death Ring, and that your big fella with the horns and the blue skin kicked your sassy friend there with the purple bandana down the death hole. Reports say she's dead now. But big wins, big prizes. 2 of you walked away with a big fat coin purse.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Honestly, I was never too fond of her, anyways. But yep, no,
I could
she's
see
dead
that.
now.
I could see
Yeah.
that.
Anyways, I know that we had asked you for some more information concerning Hastings and the Bone Rattler.
Aye.
And you said that you could get that information for us by tomorrow, correct?
I can still do that.
Okay, I'm just letting you know that we're going to be gone for some time. Me and the blue fella took a job outside of town. And so,
Well,
just...
you know, I don't know how long I can sit on this information. You know, this stuff tends to expire if it sits too long in the skull, you know. She smiles that toothy smile at you.
At this, Jacques kind of walks in to the station further, and he goes, "That's fair, but you know, they say old news is still some news, and I'll always take whatever news you can give. I mean, we did ask nicely, didn't we?"
Oh, you asked nicely at a certain point after you started to speak my language. And you know, the language I speak kind of keeps these sorts of things alive a bit longer. So to speak. Keeps the fruit from spoiling.
So to speak. And Jacques takes out 5 gold and slides it across, each gold on 1 claw, as he slides it across the desk towards her and goes, "Just so you know, my gold is not like a fountain. It runs out eventually."
Just like your friends.
Yes. Well, I was never much good at keeping friends.
And she grabs the gold and pockets it into her purse. I will...
But colleagues, Jacques says as he turns to leave, I'm very good to those that help me in business.
Give me a persuasion roll.
$13.
Okay. As you say this, she kind of almost like as you turn away, you can see her face kind of fall, as if she really enjoys the tit for tat conversation between the two of you. And like, even though like she's doing it to get gold out of you, she kind of just like verbally sparring with you. And as you walk away and you make this remark about colleagues, she stands up and shouts after you, "Keep an eye out, cat. Keep your eye on the alleyways. Folk coming in groups and one not leaving from the death ring. I raise a lot of suspicion, I might think, from prying eyes."
I appreciate the warning, Winifred.
Oh, you didn't hear nothing from me?
No. But it's always nice talking. And with that, Jacques walks away, and at this, he's actually going to wrap the cloak that he has.
Mm-hmm.
He like inverses it and wraps it around, and it's now like a black head wrap, like a head scarf, and takes the more incognito route to the whatever gate Septimus told us to meet at.
Give me a stealth check.
You got it. 17.
Okay. You feel pretty confident that you are in incognito mode. As you walk about the streets in a more strategic way, as you make your way to the northwestern openings to the city, the northwestern road, because there's no gates to the city.
Right.
As you're walking out into the crowd and then into the alleyways, we'll zoom back out over to our other friends walking up Main Street. Well, actually, you'd be walking down Main Street. Sass, you would feel rather confident that you're not like heading towards the Widow Ward, since you're heading to the southern part of the Merchants Exchange. You never know. It's still not a massive city, but you're not going to be a block away from where people think you're dead.
Yeah, and since we're far away from it, I'm not paying too much attention to like everything around, but like every once in a while I'll just like quick glance.
Okay, give me since you're doing it fairly casually, give me a quick perception check.
Got it. That would be a 12.
Feel pretty confident that there's no prying eyes around you.
Cool. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Something else that I am also on the lookout for is a hat, but it has to be perfect hat, and I might not necessarily pay for said hat.
Okay. What was your perception check?
12. Not good.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's good enough to find a hat shop. And there's also, I'll also say, there are plenty of people with hats walking around.
Yeah, that's more than what I was going for.
So I imagine, Septimus, you're leading them along towards Audubon Bunt's metalworks. This is not just like a hole in the wall blacksmith shop. This is a big blacksmith shop. Like this is a warehouse where there are many blacksmiths working inside, and not just sort of like an open forge someone has off their house. This is a much more scaled up operation. You haven't really spoken to Audubon. You know what he looks like, and you've spoken to apprentices there to learn a few things here and there, to trade knowledge and maybe even buy some scrap metal or sell some scrap metal. You do know that Audubon is a turtle with a shell that is plated in metal and decorated in silvers and golds veined through that metal. He has sort of this growth of moss that comes off of his chin like a beard, and he has an eye patch on his right eye, and he walks with a rather thick and heavy metal staff that he uses as a support, since he has some trouble walking and has a slight limp from an old injury. Sass, do you want to kind of pull back as they head towards the metalworks to hunt for a hat?
I think what I would be doing would be maybe like it's very, very stupid, but like trying them on. Like I'd like take one, try it on. If it doesn't fit, or if I don't like it, I put it back, and just kind of like be weird about it.
So you're shopping around and being weird about picking up hats and putting them back and trying to.
Correct.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
I'd also. Bruce is on high alert with these new people.
Mm-hmm.
He'd probably be watching her with his goggles.
Yep.
Well ahead of her.
Absolutely. give me a perception check, Bruce. What was your sleight of hand?
14.
14. Okay. Yeah, so
I got a 17, by the way.
yeah, Bruce, you can see whenever you guys walk through a larger crowd, or by a like shop that just has, secondhand clothes out front, Sass is just grabbing things, but not like stealing them. She's grabbing them and then putting them back in the wrong place here and there. She's twisting around people. She's like slipping in between folk, and like there's one point where she slips between these two gentlemen, and she just sort of quickly, like almost from behind, grabs the hat off of one of them and puts it on, and kind of like, and then throws it back into the street. And the man just kind of thinks that the wind took his hat for a moment and chases after it. But generally, she's finessing people mostly because they're just not paying attention. Like they're not thinking someone is gonna pluck the hat off their head. And she's timing it quite well, up to a point.
14 can only get you so far. I like to think that maybe on the one that is gets messed up is where I got cocky and had my mage hand do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a point when you see, through the sight that you see, there's actually one that gets odd for you. You don't quite understand what you're seeing, because you see Sass just kind of walking backwards and looking at a man passing her, and then and his hat just comes off his head, and it disappears for you because you can't see it because it's disconnected from the ground. And the man turns around really abruptly, and Sass, you see this, and I imagine like you drop the mage hand as soon, and the hat just falls to the ground. Yeah. And he just stares daggers at you.
What?
You fucking with me?
No.
He grabs the hat and kind of looks up and points it at you. The rest of you all see this, as this man just kind of walks up and is really aggressively like pointing his hat at her.
So watch where you're walking, mate. I didn't do nothing.
See, he kind of puts his hat on right tightly. You better watch out around here, Missy.
Noted.
And turns and walks away. Joins his friends.
Back.
Bruce, this woman is reckless.
Yeah, I imagine Fearn, doesn't scold her, but says like, "I wish you would stop that."
What? It's harmless. I need a hat. There's so many options. Gotta try one.
But you could get one, from a store, and then you'd get one that's better.
I was looking at the stores.
All right, just don't bring too much attention to us.
And with that note, we'll cut forward to the metalworks, as very much unlike last campaign, Clayton's character is scolding Shannon's character. But as Fearn is kind of saying, I wish you wouldn't do that, Septimus, you're like, we've arrived. And what you all see is a big brick warehouse that has several smokestacks up top, and high up glass windows, tall loft style, and two big heavy double doors in the front that are just opened up, and you hear inside immediately. You hear the clanging of anvils and hammers, the pumping of forges. You can and there's just sort of this immediate like grime and smoke kind of billowing out. As much as they have the stacks up top for exhaust, there's just like, this is a very unhealthy workshop. Like this would not pass safety standards in Halcyon, Bruce. This is lot of OSHA violations going on. As you can see, there's quite a few forges going. There's 5 forges going all at once, with several stations of blacksmiths working on various different things. You can see some are working on horseshoes, some are working on cast iron pots. Like, there's a variety here. They cover it all. But you would see Audubon, because he stands out quite clearly. Large, 7-foot tall turtle with a very shiny, large back of ornamental metal plate, as he's walking around leaning on this heavy metal staff, going around and checking people's work throughout. And yeah, there is like kind of a liaison desk sort of in the front, where it's not really a desk, it's more like some like welded together sheet metal and a person just kind of sitting on a stool leaning against it. You see this young, probably 16-year-old, scrawny, skinny tiefling boy with a very pale green skin with like off-centered horns. Like, one is sticking like straight up and the other one kind of curls to the side. And he has these red irises and this just sort of acne covered face, and soot everywhere all over him, as he's kind of just leaning lazily against this table, kind of just looking up at you all as you enter. Oh, hi there. You coming in for some goods? Services, maybe? Metal? Commissions?
Yes, I don't believe we've been acquainted, but my friend here, who's not from around, wanted me to bring him to the local blacksmith. I believe he's looking for... What was it you're looking for again?
Fjern goes up to the tiefling boy and says, "Ah, good morgen, friendy. Which clan do you reside from?"
Clan? I don't belong to no clan. Name's
Oh,
Rory.
no ancestors up north?
No, can't say. Can't say. Family's from around here. We all grew up out in the farms.
Shame. Well, I'm looking for something that's very large and I can hold with 2 hands to cut a lot of things in half.
Like an axe?
Well, maybe? Sure. I mean, I have this one right here, but it's a little damaged. I was looking for something fresh, maybe something new.
I can go check with, check to see what we got in the back. We don't do a lot of swords these days, or axes. Do some wood cutting axes here and there, but, you know, there's not really much use for weaponry that much. Most folk aren't buying great swords and great axes. There's no wars to be fought. There's just sort of street muggings to defend yourself against. But we might have something in the back. I'll go check. And he kind of lazily pushes himself off. And it's like, as he pushes him away, you see the turtle comes walking up to you at this point. And you see this big turtle kind of like pointing a hand out towards the lot of you. As he goes, "Hi there! You, Septimus, right?"
Yes. But how do you know my name?
I heard from Torkal. I bought some medals off of him. Said he sourced them from a country boy.
That would be me then.
Well,
I've
I
got
just
some
wanted
medals,
to...
too.
Some medals, you say?
Yep.
Always interested in medals. Anything interesting, rare, unique?
Probably. I don't know. I just found them, and I reach into my sack, and my hand is like I reach into the sack, and my hand just pulls out like this weird gooey stuff gets all over my hand when I pull it out. But inside of that weird red goo, there's this black shard that looks like it's almost like crystalline. I have a few of them. They're a little messy, but here, take a look.
He takes it. Where'd you get this?
I found it on the beach.
He's
I
eyes
don't
it.
recognize it, do I?
Fearin, that's the stuff you pulled from the wreckage, right? Yeah.
I don't know if you can call it wreckage, but yeah.
That's what I'm. Yeah, best you can say is the what remains of that spire.
Right.
Septimus, give me a Arcana check. Bruce, you can give me one too.
Yeah, I would say as they're inspecting it, if you it has a way of retaining magical energies. I cast a spell on it once, and that it kind of absorbed it. That's kind of what caught my eye.
Well, it's very interesting and unique, but maybe not now. You find it in greater number, perhaps we'll talk then. Bruce and Septimus, what'd you get for your Arcana checks?
13.
26.
Okay. Bruce, you wouldn't recognize what it is, like what type of metal, but you know hands down this is from Halcyon. Or this is Halcyon created. This is not made on the Aldhalor Islands. Especially when he describes the effects that he witnessed it, the magic absorption and retention. Like you're like, okay, all right, this probably didn't wash up on the beach, and if it did, oh shit.
Yeah.
Septimus, your perspective of this, it would be twofold. You have heard about metals like this from Halcyon that are specially made, woven very meticulously, incredibly hard to create, incredibly expensive. Does not exist anywhere in Alfdal except in the capital of Solanel. Because you've tried to source this metal before, because in your mind you think it's similar to the metal you find, and that it might be a good thing to study, to incorporate with the metals that you find in your property.
Yep.
You don't know what its name exactly is, but it is, its properties.
Okay.
Often used for skyport needles, which are waypoints for sky ships to travel along.
Any idea what the red crap is?
No, I would say you don't know what the red crap is. It looks like
It's
trash.
flesh?
It looks.
Did you tell me it's flesh?
I didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that. It just looks like red crud. Like
Okay.
It's goop.
It is goop. It's just goop. Just red goop.
Okay.
But the young lad Rory comes back with a great sword wrapped in some cloth. He says, "We can sell this to you for 500 silver pieces, or 50 gold."
I smile, and then I look at my wallet, and then I look at everyone else, like awkwardly, like not saying anything.
Don't look at me.
I
nothing.
I go over to Septimus and I whisper in his ear, I only have 26 pieces of gold.
I don't know what to say to that. I guess you can't buy it then.
Yeah.
Can I try it out?
So you want to rent it?
No, I want to hold it.
Oh, of course. Here you go.
I pick it up. Does it feel good, Sean?
It's well made. It's definitely well made. It's not like it could use a sharpening. It was probably made a while ago, but it's made of quality. It'll do the job. But there's nothing special about it.
Do you guys take trade-ins?
Yeah. It depends on what the trade-in is, but we also will accept trade-ins for used goods or other artifacts or other metals. And we also will occasionally do payment plans if we've worked with someone before. What do you got? We'll happily trade something in.
I throw a great axe on the table. I throw 2 hand axes on the table. I throw a hammer and a crowbar on the table.
Okay, all right. That'll do. We'll take. And he pulls the great axe. He pulls the hand axes, and the crowbar, and they look at those and they go, "Yeah, this'll do. This'll get you there." We'll throw in a sharpening also with all this.
So it's 4 head smashing items for the 1 new head smashing item. Is that correct?
It's a pretty good head smashing thing, and these are these goods have seen better days.
I mean, that sounds fair to me. What do you think, Septimus?
I'm familiar with metals, but for the value of weaponry, I can't say. I suppose.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal for sure.
Yeah, those northern hand axes, they might be good for cutting wood. Not that I've ever tried it.
I
Maybe you
don't
could
think you'll
tell
get a
them-
better deal anywhere in the city for someone who can't pay. Of course,
What's Saskia doing this whole time?
Yeah, Sass, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I think kind of just looking around, and would have been paying attention to like the exchange, and would have thought to herself when Fjern picked up the great sword, I thought to myself, like, I just would have taken it. And then just, kind of maybe like, is there like shelves of stuff that like are for sale?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, this isn't like a nice, like, hey, look at this presented suit of armor or this like pot and pan. They are
just like trinkets.
Yeah, I mean, they have like a shelf of like failed like projects, like broken things that they are selling for very cheap. Because they're a sourcing warehouse. They're not a front. They commission and sell out to retailers or other shops.
So I think I'd just be doing what I was doing with the hats, just picking it up, looking at it, and putting it back in the wrong places.
Sean.
Yeah.
Or Clayton.
What?
Yes.
Sorry. Wait, did I interrupt you? You
No,
showed
no,
up.
no.
Oh, okay.
No, she's responding
laughing
to
at Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Alex.
The weapons that you put down, Clayton.
Right.
What was it again?
I had a great axe, 2 hand axes. All 3 look like they're from like the north, like they're very like tribalish, but well made. A crowbar and a hammer.
And they took everything but the hammer, or they said they would take everything but the hammer.
Are there runes on those axes?
Yeah. What would
Yeah.
there be runes?
There would be runes on both the great axe and one of the hand axes. I'm about to take the deal.
Septimus.
Like,
is
I don't know any
thinking.
better.
There's a circle of dots going in Septimus's forehead right now.
I won't say anything. Continue.
Okay. All we'll say is Septimus takes note.
Gears turning.
The gears are turning in his head. All right, so they easily enough you trade in, and they sharpen the sword for you, with plenty of time for you all to head towards the northwestern road to meet up with LaRue, aka Jacquet.
Before we do that though, before they do, I was gonna try to, if they're like on their way out, like linger a bit to like talk to Audubon.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
And if I'm capable, just kind of like lean and whisper, be like, I just met this group. I'm hiring them. And I don't want my reputation to be sullied in the city. I checked to see if those are magic, because I'm pretty sure I saw him return it to his hand, and I don't want him to rob you.
Oh, I appreciate that, Septimus. Torcal spoke highly of you, so your reputation precedes you here. We'll secure the axe. We've dealt with these types of folk before.
I just give him a nod and head back, so not to linger too long and cause some suspicion.
And he looks back and he goes, "Hold up a sec, boy." And he goes and he reaches over the table, because he's got quite a reach even for a turtle, and he tosses a couple gold pieces towards you in a sack. A discount for your friend, is your honesty.
Well, thank you.
So
I'll be
5
coming back to
golds.
visit you, though. There's plenty I always wanted to discuss. But for another time.
Torcal says your talents are wasted on the trinkets and tchotchkes and gadgets you make.
I
I'd be
just need
happy
better
to know
methods.
more. We can help you there. Good luck with those strangers. Tell that woman to stop fucking around with my shelves. And you can join them out on the streets as you all are heading back up Main Street to take the northern road to the northwestern road to meet up with Jacquet.
How much gold did he give me?
He gave you 5 gold. With the intention, he gave you 5 gold, with the intention of giving it to Fearn as a rebate, so to speak. Or you can keep it.
No, I'll toss it to him. And I'll tell her.
No, what were you gonna say?
Actually, I'll toss him 1 gold. No, I'll toss him the whole thing. And say, I chatted with Audubon. He said that even though I never met him, my associates spoke highly of me, so he gave a little money back.
That's very good of you. You did a great job being my connection. They knew your name even though you said you never met them before. You must be very popular around town.
I
I'm
wouldn't say
looking for hats
popular,
along the way.
but just know the right people.
Well, why don't you keep those extra 5 golds you earned? I was planning on rewarding you anyway.
Reward.
Yeah, for making the connection. Without you, I'd probably have given away all my weapons for something much worse.
Oh, you mean the finder's fee?
Right.
Well, thank you.
My pleasure. If you ever want to make some more money, you can bet on me every Wednesday at the Honors Business Bar.
Well, right now I'm betting on you to beat some raccoons, so hopefully I get my money's worth.
Yeah, this is just a side job. Where do you see me really in action? And I'm like shaking, I'm swinging the weapon around like I don't have a care in the world. Like I'm just excited to have a new thing to smash things with.
Yeah, and as you're shaking that sword around, it's absolutely disrupting Sass's grift. Which I hesitated to call it a grift because you're not actually stealing anything.
No, I'm literally just trying it on. I'm trying to find one.
But Sass, you nab this older gentleman's hat and put it on. It does not fit at all, but in the moment that you take it off to kind of just like fling it back to him, Fearn's sword just cleaves it in two as he's swinging it madly through the air.
What are you doing? Let's put that back.
You took it out.
But you don't need to be swinging a sword through the streets.
You don't need to be throwing the mechanical things up in the air.
I cannot be walking around this town without a hat.
I have very good reaction time. I just saw something
I don't
coming
care.
at me and I couldn't handle it.
I don't.
As you see that old man, Sass, as you see him, you recognize him. He is the old man that you nabbed food off of's plate a couple days ago in the Harlequin. You can see this old man. He's just walking with his cane crooked back, jaw that kind of comes forward because he has missing most of his teeth, so his mouth is kind of like his bones are starting to kind of meld together or come closer together. And he just kept walking. Like when you grabbed the hat, he didn't notice at all, and then he's just like, all right. He turns around.
I point at Fear and I run away.
I imagine running away for you is like running and catching up with Bruce and Septimus, who did not stop.
Yes, 100%.
Fearn takes responsibility and gives the old man his 2 halves of his hat back, and in between there was 5 silver, and say, for the repairs. I'm very sorry, it was a mistake.
Yesterday, my toast disappeared, and now my hat cloven too. Thank you, lad, for being so kind and helping me out. You kind of like.
That sounds like a string of bad luck. You might be cursed by the spirits. You keep your eyes open.
The spirits. Well, shit. Kind of scrambles and tries to put the hat back on, but it doesn't work, and he just spirits are going.
Fearn just walks away.
I gotta go to the old temple now and offer up a goddamn tribute. Wanders away. As the 4 of you are able to wander off and head towards the northwestern gate, where you can meet Jacquette. Jacquette, you have been waiting there for a while. You had less work to do, so it takes a little while to get across town because you did go to the docks. So you're kind of there at quarter of waiting for them, and eventually you can kind of see they stand out from afar. As you can see the 4 of them coming up, and you are all reunited at the northwestern opening that leads out to the rest of Asia.
Did you ever find a hat you liked?
Did I ever find a hat I liked?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. 21.
So the four of you walk up to Jacquette or LaRue, and as you walk up to them, Sass, you notice out of the corner of your eye, and actually, what is everyone else's passive perception?
14.
Got 12.
11.
Septimus, what was yours?
12.
And Sass, what is yours?
My
You already
passive,
did you did. Just for record.
passive is 13.
Okay. No 30s here.
I'm still got the highest passive though.
That's true. So I will say, Jacquette, you do notice this, but only after you notice Sass see it. You see her eyes turn to see something. In an alleyway nearby, at the close to one of the ruined walls, next to a big tenement building, there's a man leaning against the wall, eating an apple, with a mustache, bristly mustache, some self-shorn, graying brown hair, a long overcoat, with a pipe in one other hand, and on his head is a familiar hat. Sass.
Is it my hat?
Yeah, your original hat that you got
Son of
here
a
with
bitch.
is on this man's head.
I want that hat.
But he is looking at all of you.
So, who sees him?
Sass sees him first, then Jacquette, and then
And then
the rest of you would be able to make the eye line connection.
I want to stand behind Fearn and just kind of like position him and just don't move. Stay right here. Don't move.
Right.
Mage hand up and over.
Fearin, you do recognize the guy as the guy who was following you this morning.
Oh, I see him now.
Yeah. Once Sass
I
is like,
imagine I had my hand turned from him, and I say, "Oh, are you stealing something again?" Like,
exactly. You weren't like looking over, but as soon as Sass positions you and says, "Don't move," you can see kind of the eye line, and you would recognize this man as the guy who's following you. Jacquette, you can notice that he is looking at you all, and you recognize Sass's hat. You spent a month with her before you got here.
not to alarm anybody, but that guy is definitely the one that saw me walking into the tavern this morning.
As I'm puppeting my mage hand.
Yeah, Bruce and Septimus, you're like, why does this matter? You're very confused.
What? Yeah. What? Why are we stopped?
Hey Sean, can you have this guy make a wisdom saving throw for me?
I would love to.
DC 13.
Mhm.
As you see, Jacquette reaches his hand down and his nails just tap lightly and very, very quickly on a hand drum. Because he is technically a bard and he's supposed to use an instrument. As he's like muttering something under his breath as he is casting dissonant whispers on this guy.
Hell yeah.
You know what you should have used? You should have finger symbols.
Castanets.
He rolled a 15.
Okay, so
Does he still take half damage? I don't remember what Dissonant Whispers does.
I think it just takes half psychic damage.
yeah, it's half.
And then nothing else.
Yeah, so that's gonna be 7 points of psychic damage.
Okay. What does he hear in his head?
So he just hears this rapid tapping echoing around in his head, and just like the murmurings of I think in this case Jacquette would be like pulling from some like highbrow like political science bullshit that he learned in his College of Eloquence, where he's just like seize the means of production and you will rise up against the proletariat.
And anyone who's looking over at this guy would see his face like twitch. Like he doesn't like jolt like I just did. He's like eye twitches, and like just like the faintest sign of blood comes out of his nose.
And then it ends with, "You don't mess with LaRue."
You can see he drops the apple and is shaking there. Give me a intimidation check with advantage to go along with this.
18.
Okay. He bolts. He turns and runs, dropping the apple and running away.
Did he take the hat with him, or did I get the hat before he left?
You can give me a sleight of hand check with your mage hand.
13.
Yes, yeah, you're able to snatch the hat because he runs and he's not like holding on to the hat like the hat was his attempt at a intimidation, and he it flings off his head and your hand catches it in the air, brings it back to you as he runs off.
What the hell just happened?
Well, they clearly know you're not dead.
Oh, so that's what that means. This is a very nice hat.
Clearly, these two are roping me into some chaos, and
We're
gonna
not
ruin
roping
my
you
own-
into
You're
anything.
this.
You're already
You're-
roped
you're-
in.
You're parts of this.
but my reputation. I was a champion.
We should leave as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Bruce and Septimus, you hear the three of them arguing about this as you're like, these are the people you hired. This is what 70 silver gets you.
Good God.
So yes, the five of you now set out. It is 3:00. You will arrive in 2 days to Septimus's homestead to deal with the raccoon infestation, the elemental raccoon infestation.
Thank you.
That is. As you head out and somewhere off in the distance, 2 days down the road, on a little dirt road that leads off the main road to a quaint little farm where bees buzz around the flowers.
Quickly, before you get to the homestead, we need to make a stop first.
Also, are the bees happy?
This is not like what? What are you asking? Are the bees happy? Yes. You need to make a stop before going to the homestead. I mean, this is not me saying you're getting to the homestead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, this is me ending the session with a separate vignette.
Oh.
Because it's almost 10. Cut that. No, somewhere off in the distance as the five of you are walking down the path heading towards Fairhold and beyond to the homestead. Back at Septimus's homestead, this quaint farm is peaceful, no interactions, and you would just see suddenly crawling out of the mud that is made up of the farm's actual tillage has been muddied and ripped apart from storms. You can see crawling out and shaking its head. You can see this raccoon made of stone just sort of crawling around, and then you see another raccoon come out, and as the mud slips off of that raccoon, it just ignites into flames. As you hear the sounds, we hear the sounds of more and more raccoons all around the homestead. That's where we'll end session 1 of Adrift in Aldhalor.
Yay!
As our heroes head off. Well, maybe not heroes yet.
Definitely not heroes.
As our misfits head off
Yes.
to take care of Septimus's problem, infestation. Thank you, folks, for joining us and hanging out with us for the premiere of Adrift in Aldhalor. For absolute shenanigans. I had a blast. I'm so excited and happy to be back. Join us next week at the same time for more adventures now that our merry band is together, moving forward to deal with some problems and whatever else this strange land brings to them. But for now, to end tonight, another thing, keep an eye out for the VOD. If you joined us late, we'll have the raw VOD out this week, and then the edited VOD hopefully out within a week or two. And yeah, we'll have some fun with it. We're gonna raid someone now. We're gonna send a raid on over to So Maddie Games. So go ahead and give them some love from Paradice. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Please join us again. Other programming is also going to resume. Relaxing in Paradise is going to be starting up on Wednesdays at 8:30, and the Sean and Shannon Power Hour will be starting again on Sundays at 7 p.m., where we're going to recap tonight's episode, talk about the premiere, maybe occasionally have some of our other friends join us to talk more about the campaign. And join us next week for some fun. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night, night.
Yeah.